At 2:41 a.m., the door unlocked. No one touched it. No one was near it. It unlocked by itself. The problem was simple. That door wasn't supposed to exist. It wasn't on the map. It wasn't in the system. Sector C had one hallway, one archive room, nothing else. That was the rule. And in Assignment Echo, rules were never broken. The door had been welded shut 9 years ago, after something called Incident Greyfall. No one talked about it. No one asked about it. The door was sealed, permanent, until that night. 2 hours, 41 minutes and 13 seconds. The lock clicked, a heavy metal sound. Slow, clear. Camera 3 showed the hallway. Empty. Lights steady. No movement. Then the handle turned. From the inside. There was no inside. Nothing was supposed to be behind that door. Nothing alive. Nothing powered. Nothing. Corporal Harris was on duty. Night rotation. Alone. He heard the metal shift before the alarm went off. At first he thought it was the air system. He was wrong. The system flagged a magnetic seal failure. No keycard used. No override code entered. No forced entry. The report said one thing. Internal release confirmed. Harris froze. There was no internal side to release it from. He called command. No answer. Only static. He tried again. Still static. All signals went down for 47 seconds. Only an echo. Command later confirmed they had no outage. No interruption. No issue. Just echo. Just that hallway. Harris pulled his sidearm. Slow breath. He stepped toward the door. It was open now. 3 inches. Just enough to see darkness. No lights inside. No sound. No air moving. Just a black space where nothing should be. The door had been sealed since 2017. There was supposed to be a wall behind it. Solid concrete. Nothing else. Then it happened. 3 knocks. From the other side. Not random. Not loud. Controlled. 1, 2, 3. Harris stopped walking. The knocking stopped too. Like it knew he was there. And that was the moment Assignment Echo stopped being a routine post. Harris didn't speak. He didn't move. He just stared at the opening. 3 inches of darkness. It felt deeper than it should. Like the hallway had changed shape. He stepped closer. Slow. Every step echoed. The lights above him flickered once. Then stopped. The door didn't move. It stayed open. Waiting. Command, this is Echo Night Watch. Confirm containment breach. Static. He tried again. Nothing. The hallway felt quieter now. Too quiet. Even the air system seemed softer. Like something was absorbing the sound. Harris leaned forward. He didn't shine his flashlight inside. Not yet. He just looked. There was no wall behind the door. That was the first impossible thing. There should have been concrete. 6 feet thick. Instead there was depth. A narrow passage. Dark. Long. Going down. That space had never been on the blueprint. Never on any inspection record. Never in any maintenance report. Assignment Echo had no sublevels beyond Sector C. But this passage was real. And it wasn't small. It looked old. The metal frame inside the doorway was rusted. Different color. Different material. Like it had been there longer than the base itself. Harris finally turned on his flashlight. The beam cut through the dark. Dust in the air. Thick. Floating slowly. The light reached maybe 10 feet. Then nothing. Just black. The floor sloped downward. A shallow descent. Smooth. Intentional. Built. Behind him, camera 3 made a soft mechanical adjustment. It turned slightly, tracking him. He didn't notice. He took 1 step inside. The temperature dropped immediately. 5 degrees. Maybe more. His breath became visible. That shouldn't happen in Sector C. The climate system was controlled. Stable. Always stable. He stopped just past the doorway. Still close enough to see the hallway behind him. Still close enough to retreat. He looked down at the floor. No footprints. No dust disturbed. Nothing had walked out. Something was inside. It was still inside. Then his radio cracked. Not static this time. A voice. Soft. Full. Distorted. Harris. He froze. That wasn't command. That wasn't protocol. Only command used the call sign. No one used first names. Ever. Harris stepped forward. The voice wasn't loud. It didn't sound aggressive. It sounded calm. Almost patient. Like it was giving it. The door kept moving. Slow. Steady. Harris lunged forward. He grabbed the handle. Pulled. Nothing. The metal was cold now. Much colder than before. The gap closed. 2 inches. 1. Then. Silence. The door sealed shut. No sound of a lock. No click. Just pressure. Like something heavy had settled behind it. Harris slammed his fist against the metal. Command, respond. His radio gave him nothing. No static. No signal tone. Just silence. The display screen was blank. Battery full. But dead. He tried the handle again. Pulled harder. The door did not move. It felt thicker. He stepped back. Something felt wrong. The hallway behind the door. It didn't look the same anymore. The lights seemed dimmer. Longer. Like the corridor had stretched. Camera 3 was still mounted above. But the lens was dark. No red recording light. No movement. No hum from the motor. Dead. Everything outside that door was still. Too still. Harris took a slow breath. Think. Assess. Retreat is blocked. Communication is down. Unknown structure ahead. He turned back toward the passage. The air was colder now. And quieter. The silence wasn't empty. It felt occupied. Then he heard it. Step. Soft. Metal against concrete. From deeper inside. He didn't move. Another step. Same rhythm. Same distance apart. Not running. Not rushing. Walking. Toward him. Harris raised his flashlight. The beam shook slightly. He aimed it down the slope. Nothing. Just dust in the air. Floating. Slow. But the steps continued. 1, 2, 3. Each one matching the pace of his breathing. When he inhaled, step. When he exhaled, step. He forced himself to hold his breath. The steps stopped. Immediately. Silence again. Heavy. Pressing against his ears. Then, a whisper. Close. Too close. Not from the tunnel. From behind him. Near the door. Don't stop. Harris spun around. Flashlight beam sweeping the metal surface. Nothing there. Just the sealed door. Cold. Still. And then he realized something. The footsteps hadn't been coming toward him. They had been matching him. Mirroring him. Staying the same distance away. Always 10 feet ahead. Always just beyond the light. He was not being approached. He was being led. Harris didn't run. Running would mean panic. And panic gets people killed. He adjusted his grip on the flashlight. Tightened his hold on the sidearm. Then he moved forward. Slow. Careful. The slope was smooth. Too smooth to be natural. This wasn't a crack in the wall. It was built. Deliberate. Planned. The walls changed as he went down. Sector C was reinforced concrete. Plain. Industrial. This tunnel wasn't. The metal beams were darker. Thicker. Older. Some of them were rusted through. The bolts didn't match military standard. Different shape. Different material. Like this place had been constructed before Echo existed. He reached 10 feet. 15. 20. The air grew heavier. Harder to breathe. His radio clipped to his vest began to flicker. The screen turned on for half a second. Then off again. Like it was trying to connect to something. On the right wall he saw scratches. Vertical lines. Groups of 5. Tally marks. Over and over. Some fresh. Some faded. Some carved deep. Others barely visible. He ran his fingers across one set. The metal was worn smooth around it. Someone had been here. A long time. A few steps later his boot hit something. Metal. Flat. He crouched. Picked it up. A rectangular plate. Bent. Covered in dust. He wiped it clean with his sleeve. The engraving was faint but readable. Echo Containment. Phase I. Below it, authorized access only. And under that, a date. 2008. Harris froze. Assignment Echo was commissioned in 2013. 5 years later. Official record. Public infrastructure filing. Military expansion permit. Everything documented. Everything traceable. There was nothing here before 2013. Nothing. He looked back up the slope. The doorway was still visible. Small now. Farther than it should be. He didn't remember walking that long. The distance felt wrong. Longer than 20 feet. Longer than 30. The tunnel was stretching. Or he was losing sense of it. His flashlight flickered once. Twice. Then steadied. And that's when he saw it. At the bottom of the descent. Half hidden in shadow. A small metal desk. Bolted to the floor. Older than the tunnel walls. And on top of it, a tape recorder. Military issue. Analog. A red light glowing softly. Still recording. No dust on. The recorder stopped rewinding. Click. Silence. Harris didn't touch it. He just stared at the red light. Still on. Still recording. That meant one thing. Something had pressed play before. Or something had never stopped recording. The tape began to move. A soft mechanical hum filled the tunnel. Then, a voice. Mal. Come. Breathing heavy. This is Sergeant Miller. Echo containment log. I don't know the date. Static. Footsteps in the background. Metal echo. The same sound Harris had heard. The same distance. The same rhythm. Miller continued. The door opened at 2:39. No override. No breach. It opened from the inside. Harris felt his grip tighten. Same time window. Same report. Different year. I am proceeding down the secondary passage. Secondary passage. The phrase echoed in Harris's mind. There was no secondary passage. There never was. The recording crackled. Miller's breathing grew faster. It's matching me. It's staying just ahead of the light. Harris slowly turned his flashlight deeper into the tunnel. Nothing visible. Just darkness. The tape clicked. A loud metallic bang sounded through the recording. Miller shouting now. It closed the door. I repeat, the door has sealed. Harris looked back up the slope. The doorway above him was barely visible now. Too far. Too small. The distance had changed again. The recording continued. Lower now. Miller whispering. It knows protocol. To stop when I stopped. It moves when I move. Harris didn't move. Neither did the echoing footsteps ahead. Then came something new. Miller's voice shifted. Confused. They're saying I opened it before. That I requested access. That I signed phase 1. Paper shuffling in the background. I never signed anything. Harris felt something cold press against the back of his neck. Air shifting. Close. He didn't turn around. The tape hissed. Miller breathing hard. If anyone finds this, don't respond when it speaks your name. Silence. Then. Miller? Not on the tape. Not distorted. Clear. Close. From inside the tunnel. The tape kept playing. But Miller's voice was gone. Now there was only breathing. Slow. Measured. Not one set. Two. The recorder clicked. Stopped. The red light stayed on. And from somewhere ahead in the darkness, a boot stepped forward. Real. Not recorded. The step echoed again. Closer this time. Not rushed. Not aggressive. Measured. Harris raised his flashlight higher. The beam cut deeper into the dark. And then, a shape. At the edge of the light. Standing still. Human height. Human posture. Head slightly tilted. Watching him. Identify yourself, Harris said. His voice was steady. The figure didn't respond. It didn't step forward. It didn't step back. It just stood there. 10 feet beyond the light. Always 10 feet. Harris moved one step forward. The figure moved one step back. Same distance. Same rhythm. Mirrored. The beam flickered. Just once. In that split second of dim light, Harris saw its face. It was his. Same uniform. Same patches. Same rank. But older. Eyes darker. Skin pale. Like it hadn't seen light in years. The light steadied again. The face was normal now. Just shadow. Just outline. But the posture hadn't changed. Head tilted. Studying him. You're not real, Harris said. The figure answered. With his voice. Come. Controlled. I was. Harris felt the air shift again. Colder. Denser. You opened it, the figure continued. I followed procedure. You requested access. I never requested anything. The figure took one step closer. The distance did not change. Still 10 feet apart. Impossible. The tunnel walls made a low metal groan, like pressure building behind them. Harris's radio suddenly turned on. Full volume. Command's voice burst through. Corporal Harris, confirm phase 1 authorization. His blood ran cold. I did not authorize any. Darkness. Total. No light. No tunnel. No sound. Harris couldn't tell if his eyes were open. He reached for his flashlight. It wasn't in his hand anymore. He didn't remember dropping it. A sound. Paper turning. Close. Very close. A desk lamp clicked on. Warm light. Not cold. Not industrial. Warm. Harris was no longer in the tunnel. He was standing inside Sector C. Normal lighting. Normal temperature. The sealed door was in front of him. Closed. Welded. Untouched. Camera 3 hummed above. Red recording light on. Active. Everything looked normal. Routine. Like nothing had happened. His radio buzzed. Clear signal. Corporal Harris confirmed Phase 1 completion. His mouth moved before he could think. Phase 1 complete. He heard himself say it. Come. Professional. Like he had said it before. A clipboard was in his left hand. He hadn't picked it up. He looked down. Top page stamped. Echo Containment. Phase I authorization. Below that, signature confirmed. Corporal Daniel Harris. Date, 2017. His heart pounded. That wasn't possible. He wasn't stationed here in 2017. He wasn't even enlisted yet. The lights flickered. For half a second. The hallway stretched. The walls darkened. The sealed door wasn't sealed anymore. It was open. 3 inches. Darkness behind it. Then normal again. Closed. Welded. Nothing there. The radio crackled softly. A whisper now. Not command. Don't stop. His own voice. Classified report. Assignment Echo. Sector C incident log. Date filed. October 14, 2025. Clearance level, restricted. Summary. At 2:41 a.m., a temporary systems irregularity was reported in Sector C. Magnetic seal on archive door remained structurally intact. No breach detected. No forced entry recorded. Camera 3 footage reviewed in full. Hallway remained empty between 2 hours and 40 minutes and 2 hours and 45 minutes. No door movement observed. No secondary passage exists within Sector C. Structural scans confirm solid concrete behind archive door. Thickness, 6 feet. No void detected. Personnel status. Corporal Daniel Harris. Missing. Last confirmed visual timestamp. October 14, 2025, 2:40 and 58 seconds a.m. At 2:41 a.m., corridor appears empty. No visible exit. No sign of struggle. No distortion in footage. Search operation conducted within installation perimeter. Negative results. Status updated to presumed lost. Historical audit. No record of Phase 1 authorization in 2017. No authorization signed by Corporal Harris prior to 2025. No personnel file found for Sergeant Miller assigned to Assignment Echo. No prior containment phase officially documented. Operational status. Assignment Echo remains active. Sector C remains secured. Archive door remains sealed. Permanent classification enforced. File status. Closed. October 14, 2025. 23:18 p.m. Silence. A final system log appears. Not formatted like the report. No clearance header. No signature. Just a timestamp. October 21, 2025, 2:41 a.m. Magnetic seal disengaged. Internal release confirmed. Black screen. A Warbound journal story.